5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff. Oh. The quality just took like the biggest dive.
Peggy 16.
That was so funny. Turn the subtitles
Hello
off.
everyone. Thank you for taking the
Hello.
time to join us today. In this video, we'll show some footage of our new action RPG, Elden Ring.
Okay.
We hope it helps to convey a little of this title's mood and gameplay.
I hope so too.
Elden Ring is set here, in the lands between.
The lines between what and what?
This is a site of grace, acting as a place of rest for the player. Occasionally, grace will manifest rays of guiding light.
Donkey.
Of course, we're free to choose whether to
think it's
follow
an
this
ox.
guidance, or head off to explore in a different direction.
We got the old caravan. We've seen a bit of this before. Because I really like Breath of the Wild, and it reminds me of this in a way that there's little key zones and a lot of sparseness between. So if this can get that same balance between sparseness between and key zones that are interesting, I'd like it. Like the classic, you get smacked around by everything though, if you're not careful. So they're just kind of showing off the dynamic of the gameplay here and how you can choose to tackle things. You can run around and hit it with some magic on your horse. You can ride past it and smack it with a sword. It's really all that was. And you finish a move.
I'm stuck. Hello? Please, anyone? Oh, my stars. I'm so happy to see you. I am Alexander, also known as the Iron Fist. And as you can see, I'm stuck.
You look like a giant pot, my guy.
Please, can you help me out of this?
Punch him,
Those
kick him.
doubts to rest. I'll be just fine. I'm very well trained. Give it your all, I say.
That was fucking windy in this area. Yo, kill him. Oh. Neat.
Ah. Well played, good sir. Well played. Oh, that mighty wallop of yours almost spelled the end of me. Ah.
Okay. We've got weird, cringy NPCs and their weird laughs. That's still very much there. This armor looks sick. That's absolutely awesome. I love that, the way that looks.
The map can prove useful when exploring the world, and is populated by acquiring map fragments.
Map fragments. Okay, so you do get a...
We can use markers to customize the map, such as setting reminders for the location of crafting materials or dangerous
Okay.
enemies.
We get 100 map markers. I like a good map marker system in an open world game. Something that doesn't
Beacons
just
can also be
put it
placed
there
to help with
automatically.
orientation.
Beacon, that's a very standard system.
Beacons placed on the map
Very
appear in
cool.
the world. Spirit springs can be used while on horseback to launch high into the air. This allows for stress-free traversal of areas with a great deal of verticality.
Vertical, yeah, that's pretty standard in most sort of open world games. Very good. Dynamic events like weather, I guess, is what this is kind of showing off. I guess when you're wet, you get a debuff of some kind, because I'm seeing an effect around the character and the horse. Maybe a movement speed debuff, or it was just a weird texture bug. Okay, so we've got like Far Cry, Metal Gear Solid 5, scouting.
The carriage over there is carrying treasure. An opportunity too good
Well, I
to
mean,
pass up.
the other games have a fucking telescope as well, so it's not
We'll
really.
prepare for combat with some item crafting, using materials
It just
found
works
on the world.
better in open world games than I think I think no one really used the binoculars, so. Yeah, finishing moves. I'm just worried, and the big issue that I have and I'm worried about is
Enemy stance can be broken with heavy strikes, such as when attacking from above.
enemy placement was an incredibly important part.
A variety
Of
of unique attacks
tuning.
can also be interchanged between weapons.
So the whole unique attack system. So that's different. Okay, that's like the dancer's sort of attack. So that's right, they were talking about the fact that you can utilize different attack patterns from
In
different.
more perilous situations, we can summon spirits to assist us
We
in
can
battle.
summon. Okay.
Spirits vary greatly in type, so we look forward to players experimenting and finding their personal favorites.
Interesting. The old Viscera attack. So the biggest worry I have is, yeah, the challenge. So the amount of running around that is sort of going to be required in this, will they get
Online
the...
multiplayer can also be enjoyed with players from other worlds, from
Will they
cooperative to
get
PvP and invasions.
the balance right between how often you have to run halfway across the fucking map? Like, do they have that balance right of difficulty and how far you have to run to get back to the challenge if you do end up dying? Because the Souls games, being such on a much smaller scale than this, it was easier to get that right because all you have to do is litter a couple of
Deadly creatures stalk this forest,
things
so
around.
we'll use stealth to avoid detection.
Stealth. Okay. That's neat. Certainly a staple of open world games.
We've come across a boss guarding this area. We'll take it on with the help of our co-op partner.
Wade's got a big gavel. Okay, so the question really does come down to, as well, if it's anything like the other games, do the bosses not scale based on how many people? Because I'm fairly certain in the other games they don't scale at all. And so is this a game where they want to really encourage teaming together to overcome things? Well, they do want you to summon spirits, I guess. They don't seem like they have this whole you're all alone constantly, besides a very few scripted. Okay, so he just jumped off that and then landed without taking any damage. It appeared to not. So the fall distance has been greatly increased before you take damage. Or he's running something that reduces or increases how far you can drop.
Catacombs, caves, mines, and other dungeons can be
Dungeon
found
style
while exploring
things.
the world.
Little key points of interest. So this is where we start to see things that kind of look...
These dungeons each hold their own secrets, from hidden
Yeah.
treasures to fearsome bosses.
So these to me look like they're more along the lines of what you would expect if you played an actual, just the previous Souls games. These little crafted segments of very specific difficulty and challenges in a particular order that give you something at the end as a boss or an item or whatnot. So that's cool. Good to see. The other issue is my arms and hands are not as good as they were in terms of
Greetings,
how much RSI I get.
traveller from
So I can't
beyond
use a
the
controller.
fog. I am Melina.
I can't use a controller. Makes me sad. So I don't know if I want to even grab this because of that. I'll try and get Eva into...
I offer you an accord.
So is that our upgrade
We've
lady?
reached
Who's
Stormvale
got an
Castle,
eye for once?
a large-scale dungeon which connects seamlessly with the surrounding Limgrave region.
Neat. So the points of interest do seem like they're very much closer to what you would expect out of a Souls game.
You there? Come over here, would you?
And they seem like they have a lot more NPCs to guide you through that zone to some degree.
Aren't you?
Tarnished.
I would advise against taking the main gate into the castle. It's tightly guarded by hardened old hands. Oh, try the opening right here. The guards don't know about it. You'll breach the castle undetected.
Ah. No.
Fair enough. You certainly don't have to trust me. Well, if you must go through the gates, I'll signal them to open. But of course, I'd advise against it.
Huh.
The gates! Open the gates!
Oh, that's so cool. So you can instantly open up. Oh my god, I see them. Wow. Yeah,
The main
chug.
route seems risky, so we'll try entering through a back way.
That jump dough. Wow, okay. So maybe there's more... the spirits. Maybe spirits are much more part of the sword play and the abilities in this than I've ever seen previously in any of my plays of the other Souls games.
Extra care should be taken when moving through dungeons, as visibility and terrain differ from when in the open. We hope players enjoy getting a feel for the different types of areas and coming up with suitable strategies for each.
Ah, cool. Cheesy gameplay placements are still there. Very cheeky. Yo, Viscera him off the fucking edge. Kick him, kick him. Missed opportunity. Interesting. Huge areas with lots of verticality.
Dungeons are complex and multi-layered, meaning they can be tackled from a number of routes.
The only question I have for these is it actually
Nice to meet you.
well developed, or is it just randomly like, oh, we'll put a hole here, we'll put a hole here, we'll put a hole here?
As you might have guessed, I'm looking for a little something here in the castle. When I'm not hot-footing it from the troops, that is. But enough about me. What are you doing here in Stormvale Castle? This place is bristling with tarnished hunters, you know. They sacrifice our kind for grafting. Not exactly a place I'd stroll into without a purpose in mind.
Enemy variety seems really high. Don't know about archetypes though, but graphically. They do have 3 games worth of lore to also draw art assets from. 3, 4. 4? If you count demons from Bluepoint, especially recently. Like
In
4
this next
full
boss fight,
games.
we challenge one of the demigods, ruler of Stormvale, Godric the Golden.
And since I never like played them so hardcore, I would have no issue if they just modified some of the assets from other games to make a lot of this.
Mighty dragon,
They probably use a lot of the same textures as 3.
true-born heir. Lend me thy strength, O kindred. Deliver me unto greater heights.
I see why this was delayed. It's fucking huge. It's gonna be huge.
Lowly tarnished. Plain as a lord.
Alright, I think
I command
we've
thee.
seen this, haven't we? But we haven't seen.
I am the lord of all that is golden.
We're gonna see a bit of his fight possibly now. Yep. So we've seen him, but we haven't seen a bit of his fight. So we have sword, buff powders and things again by the looks of it. What the fuck is this guy even doing? We get some spirits. Oh, that was cool. He's gonna rip the dragon's head off. Phase 2, I guess.
Thank you for watching.
Okay.
This was just a brief introduction to Elden Ring's fundamentals, but more details will be revealed at a later date. There's not long to go now before release. In the meantime, we greatly appreciate your continued support.
I'll very much have to consider grabbing it.
The tarnished will soon return.
It's definitely given me a lot more hope than I had before, seeing this. But
Someone must extinguish thy flame.
I might wait for reviews still.
They will fight. And they will die. For how else is a champion to be born.
It looks visually very impressive. And a bonus gesture. Oh, that's my favorite. 23 centimeter statue. Oh. Oh, it's a fucking helmet. Bruh. Standard edition. Includes the game. That is all you need. That is all I need. Alright. Awesome. I think it's pretty cool. Better than I was anticipating. Huh. Elden Ring, huh? Alright, I'll be back in